The economic depression of the early 1340s was followed by the catastrophe of the Black Death. This arrived in Europe from China by way of Genoese ships from the Black Sea in 1347. Contemporary chroniclers, confirmed by recent research, record that during the next 4 years, around 1/3 of Europe's population was wiped out by the plague. Owing to bad sanitation and ignorance of how the disease spread, the situation was worst in the cities, where families suspected of having the plague were sometimes simply bricked up in their homes and left to die. Those who could afford to do so fled from Florence into the surrounding Tuscan countryside. Of those who remained behind, well over half perished. Not surprisingly, the first stirrings of the new humanism were quickly replaced by superstitious morbidity. Yet the comparative social stasis of medieval Europe had begun to crumble, and fundamental change was inevitable. The Medici family in Florence had by now expanded to include some 20 or 30 nuclear families. The affiliation of these families, recognizable by name, would have been looser than that of a single family, more akin to that of a clan, with its own internal rivalries, but overall group loyalty. The Medici appear to have taken advantage of the vacuum left by the bankruptcy of the 3 leading Florentine banking families, with several Medici going into banking, establishing their own separate small enterprises. Brothers or cousins would have joined together as partners to provide shares of the original capital, often working together in the daily running of the bank, which would have involved such business as foreign currency exchange, small deposits, and seasonal loans to wool traders, weavers, and the like. At least 2 of these enterprises were sufficiently canny, or lucky, to survive the economic ravages of the Black Death, and were thus able to consolidate the Medici power base. The Medici now provided the city with more than the occasional gonfaloniere. Giovanni de Medici, a direct descendant of the first documented Chiarissimo, departed from the usual Medici preserve of civil affairs and became a military leader. Keen to demonstrate his prowess, in 1343 he encouraged the Florentines into a war against the small city-state of Lucca, some 40 miles to the west. Giovanni tried to take Lucca, failed, then laid siege to the town, but the campaign turned into a fiasco, and on his return to Florence, Giovanni was executed. After this, the Medicis stuck to civil affairs, yet on occasion these could prove just as dangerous.